Hi, everyone. Let's get this music down a bit. Um, let's go into our community read. Hi, Fatima. Thank you for the good luck. Always need luck finding time to do stuff. So we had the full moon for March pass. It was the worm moon. Syl is not with us today. She is my astrology guru. She's the one that knows all of the zodiacs and everything. But I figured we could do a community message from the full moon. What should we focus on as a community um, as we enter the waning phase into the new moon? So as I shuffle, just focus on that moon energy, focus on the week behind, and see what we have. All right, so we have the blood moon. So this is beginnings, endings, clean slates. So as we are going through this waning phase, this card to me is saying, focus on ways to get to that clean slate. So what is it you can wipe away? What can you remove? The waning phase really invites us to remove energies from our life. So remove any bad habits, any people that are not serving you anymore, whatever it is that just does not suit your current state of being. And that way, once we get to the new moon, you have that blank slate to set those new intentions, those new manifestations, whatever it is you want to start to invite into your life. Let's see what else we have. Welcome, Black Widow. Let's see what else we have to focus on, what message we have from the full moon. We have the Spirit and Matter. This card is Paradox between Realms, Equilibrium. So as you are starting to focus on things to remove out of your life, it's a good time to reflect on what things you should remove in order to bring balance. So maybe that is the focus that you are looking for. If you weren't sure really where to start, if you weren't sure what things you needed to remove, if you just feel out of balance and you weren't really sure where to focus on, I think this card is saying, hey, focus on the things that give you that balance that you've been looking for, that you've been missing out on. This might manifest in sort of a paradoxical situation where kind of think of it as like you're in like a hamster wheel almost, or like what comes first, the chicken or the egg kind of thing, and you're not sure where to start, so instead you just waffle between these choices. I feel like this card is saying just make that choice, right? So just face it head on. I love the fact that these birds are flying into each other, so just face whatever it is head on, make a decision and stick with it in order to finally start taking action. Let's do one more card for the community. One more card for the community. We have Karmic Web, Troubles, Misfortune, and Amends. Okay, so this is, I think this waning phase is really, this full moon really highlights the things that have been really bad lately, in the way, like things that I don't want to say really bad, things that just are no longer serving you, no longer helping you move forward. um the interesting thing about the karmic web, I feel like these are things that have stuck with you for a while. Maybe these are things, if you believe in past lives, you pulled from your past life into this one. This could be generational traumas, generational issues that you are also pulling in because of that. So these are things I think this full moon really highlights the need to really dive deep. This is where that facing those like demons really comes into play. You have to dive deep, find those triggers, find those traumas, find those things that you've been carrying with you for a really long time that have been so ingrained into you, you may not even realize it yet. Um, but yeah, I think that, you know, even though this card is ending with that, I think that this is the key card here. This is the card that highlights like you might have had some unfortunate things happen, but it's time that you really, really just reflect on that, face it head forward, head on, and really start to focus on how you're going to just tackle that issue. All right. So that was the community read. That was from the Earth, Moon, and Shadow. This was my favorite Oracle card from 20 or Oracle deck rather from 2022, and it is by Rue and Vervain. So guys, to enter the queue, use exclamation point join. I go in order. You will notice that two bots are working right now. I'm only working off of Streamlabs. I'm testing out Nightbot, so we'll see how it goes. If you put your question in the chat before I call on you, I'm gonna have you say the question again anyway because I'm not gonna scroll up. Sorry. All right. Our tarot readings are going to be from the Meraki Tarot. It's similar to the Light Seers Tarot, if you're familiar with that. And let's go into our readings. So right now in the queue, I have Fatima, Black Widow, CK, and Kate. So Fatima, why don't you go ahead and get us started? And thank you for your help, Fatima. And while you do that, I'm going to go ahead and get my cards all warmed up. Oh, and just so you know, I'm trying out Ko-fi. I don't know if it's Ko-fi or coffee. Regardless, I'm trying it out. That's where you can purchase private readings for me, or if you don't want to wait in line for readings live, you can sign up that way. I should have put it in the description, and I did not do that. Let me do that now real quick. So basically you can, similar to my tips, you can go in and send a tip to skip the queue. You get a little, you usually will get some tarot cards and some oracle cards to go with it. You can also join, there we go, add that in. So it is in the description box. All right. You can also purchase private readings if you'd like, if maybe we touched on something, but you need a little bit more. I also include my bone readings as well. All right. There we go. Nice shuffle. So you're just wondering if it'll be an online person or someone, I'm guessing you meet a friend, someone you already know. Let's see how you'll meet your next romantic partner, Fatima. Oops. All right, one more card. Let's see. Here we go. All right. You have you have all swords here. So you have the Ace of Swords, you have the Page of Swords in reverse, and then you have the King of Swords in reverse. So I feel like this is definitely going to be more of an online presence. Everything here is more like swords is much more of a, it's less of a physical aspect. So swords represents air, more of like your mental connection and less of the physical connection that you might have more so with like water, or with pentacles, for instance. So Black Widow, under the section in the description, you can use either Stream Elements or Ko-fi. Here, let me paste them in. All right. So, so what I see here too is, I think this might be, I know you said friend. I feel like you meant physical friend versus online, which is like online dating. But I wonder if you have a friend that is mostly online. That's kind of what I feel here, is that this is something that you might have already known this person a little bit, unless you've been chatting with someone from a dating site for a while now. That could be another thought of this. So and the reason I say that is because the Ace of Swords kind of has this like air of like success, which gives me the idea that this might have been going on for a while, and then things are going to start to change and connect much more quickly. The aces are like new beginnings, new things coming into your life. And then swords, you have that mental connection. So I feel like this is a new connection that you have with someone more so like intellectually. And there's that element of breakthrough. And that's where it makes me feel like maybe you've known them for just a while. They're not someone you met like yesterday, for instance. But then we have the Page in reverse and the King in reverse. This is where I wonder, like, if you might be rushing in to things a little bit because you feel like you are getting these signals and you just kind of jump in head first. I would be careful about that. So the next person you meet, or this person that you meet, I should say, be careful about rushing into this. I feel like they are really good at playing the game of being suave and really charismatic, but they really are not. They are not what they are putting out into the world. The pages are usually childish. The kings in reverse are manipulative, and then the pages in reverse are really thoughtless. So I don't know that this is something that's going to be long term for you. I really see this as like more so of a intellectual connection, and then there is nothing else to round it out because of how they behave. I don't think there's much, there's no wands, there's no cups in this, so there's no real like passion or emotion or anything like that driving this. And then there's no pentacles, so there's nothing physical driving this either. So just be careful about people that are sounding to be too good to be true, because really they might be trying to manipulate the system, or I almost said system, manipulate the system. They're trying to manipulate you into falling into their system, really. So yeah, just be a little careful, Fatima. I can't remember from last week, but I feel like I said something similar about someone coming into your life not being, kind of being like a wolf in sheep's clothing kind of thing, where you just have to be a little more mindful that you're picking the right person. Black Widow, go ahead, put your question in the chat. And I hope those links helped. And I hope that helps you as well, Fatima. Okay, that's what I thought. I know last week I said that to a few people. It was kind of like the theme of last week for some reason. I don't know. I'm going to blame it on the full moon. I am nothing if not consistent. You're very, very welcome. If you guys enjoy your readings, if you enjoy listening to the other people's readings, make sure you like and subscribe. It helps with my algorithm. If you don't want to subscribe, that's okay, but still give me a like. That still helps with the algorithm. Black Widow, let me know what your question is. Whew, there we go. Nice shuffle. Thank you, Fatima. I really love how these oh, thank you, Black Widow. I will pull an oracle card for you as well. I really love how these cards pair together. This pairs really well if you are also a tarot reader. The Earth, Moon, and Shadow pairs really well with the Light Seers Tarot, and then also the Meraki Tarot. They're kind of similar, the two tarot decks. Thank you for the tip, Black Widow. So let me know what your question is. I will pull some tarot. I'll pull oracle cards. Oh, and I'm trying to build up my TikTok. So if you guys want to join me on TikTok, I am also on there. There, added it. um, Black Widow, go ahead, put your question while we wait for you. CK, go ahead, put your question in the chat as well. And then after you, CK, we have Kat. And thank you, Kat. The way you joined was perfect, actually. Maybe I'll suggest people do that next time because I actually do have your question. All right. Let's see. Let's see what they are up to. Oof. Okay, the person who texted you after 1 year of no comms. What are their intentions? What's their intention for texting you? Black Widow, I got you. What are their intentions? Oof, these cards are sticky. So we have the Queen of Swords in reverse, we have the Eight of Pentacles, and then we have the Two of Cups in reverse. I feel like just off the bat, I feel like they are focusing on just disharmony in general. The at the center of your reading, you have the Eight of Pentacles. This is the card of like diligence. It can represent a lot of things, but considering everything around it, I feel like this card is about diligence. So I feel like they've been maybe like just waiting for the right moment to kind of step back into your life and disrupt it a little bit. And the reason I feel that way is because of this Queen of Pentacles. This is giving me very much just like someone who has been holding on to old issues and harboring them in a not very good way. The Queen of Swords in reverse is usually someone who's fairly bitter and very cold hearted. And just in reverse with the court cards, the sword court cards, they can be very intellectual and manipulative, so they could really plan things out. So I'd be a little weary. I don't know what they said to you. um I don't know if it was just, like pleasantries or what, but yeah, I would just be a little careful about that. The Queen in reverse is also a sign of someone who does not have their emotions like totally under control. So yeah, just Be careful about that. And then at the end here, we have the Two of Cups in reverse. Upright, this is really awesome because it's a sign of like unity and partnership and harmony. But in reverse, it is the opposite of all of that. There is no balance that is happening. That means whatever their intent is fairly chaotic, very all over the place, which very much mm, meshes with the concept of this Queen in reverse, where they are like just their emotions are all over the place. They don't have control of them. Um, but one of the key things here in the Two of Cups is there's a disconnect between people, which means that there's no real balance of emotions or communication happening between two people. You said they said, "Are you going to be bitter forever?" Yeah. Yeah, they're literally projecting. You nailed it right on the head. Yeah, so I feel like, you know, that is not a message after a year of someone who wants to reconcile. They're continuing to project. I don't see this serving you anyway whatsoever. So I would take whatever with a grain of salt, maybe block them, whatever it is that you want to do for your own, well being. But yeah, definitely not someone who has bettered themselves after a year. All right, you're looking for a Scrum Master job. When are you going to get one? Ooh, interesting. Yeah, glad you didn't respond to GK. You are very welcome. All right, let's see here. Let's look into that. Oh, goodness. These cards are so sticky. All right, let's see. Some more cards here. Let's see. Let's see. So this is going to be a while from now, but there's actionable steps that you need to start taking now, which maybe you aren't. We'll discuss that in a second. Let me pull some oracle cards. This is just going to be an overall like energy representation of the energy around this. Okay. So I think that this is going to be a little bit of a long process for you, but this card here is your card of hope. Um, being optimistic about the situation, not giving up. So, uh, this, as I described that, kind of keep this in mind. You see this sun is on the horizon. You might not be there yet. You're kind of looking through this doorway. You see this door of opportunity. You're looking through it, but you're not quite stepping through it yet. So we have the Ten of Pentacles, we have the Four of Cups, and we have the Five of Swords. So, Black Widow, the Ten of Pentacles is really the card here that indicates that it might take a while, but the good thing is, I think this card is saying like there is virtue in patience, because pentacles are really slow moving, but pentacles are really a good sign a lot of times for financial questions. They represent the physical world, they represent your finances, and the tens are really about that achievement and just culmination of a lot of work that you've put in. So it's like the end of the cycle. That's where you start to achieve your goals, achieve the things that you have been putting in all that work for. But you have the Four of Cups here. So this is telling me that, you might be waffling on certain things, and you're being presented with opportunities and they just don't feel quite right, and that could be for a reason. That could be for a lot of competition, maybe imposter syndrome. You feel like you're not quite ready for whatever offers you're getting. And it might not be offers, it might be like actually, I feel like it's more so you're seeing these things. So as you are going through looking at jobs, maybe networking, seeing these like opportunities pop up online or on job websites, you feel like maybe you can't accept them for some reason. And I think that this is part of this journey where you find some acceptance with yourself, find some acceptance with the job, and then something is really going to just pop up that you will realize you are right for. Now, that being said, I do feel like, you will be presented certain things. I just think you may not connect with them emotionally. I don't think they will be the scrum master. They might be in the same sort of field. You might still be in that like agile work environment, but you won't be an actual like master, if that makes sense. Um, the Five of Swords is really, I think, the key in all of this and how it plays in and why you got this rising sun card. The Five of Swords can feel a little bit defeated as well, but it's more so you're beating yourself up than it is coming from the external. So if you feel like you're ambitious and you have these goals, but you feel like you're not reaching, it's like you're running towards it, but it still feels like it's getting further and further away. But just be careful not to let that turn you into like this cutthroat person, like this win at all cost person. You really should just, the 10 of Pentacles really suggests that you should find this way to ground yourself, slow yourself down. And it's hard. I believe me, I know that it's hard when it comes to really trying to get the job that you want. I'm kind of going through this myself right now. When you're trying to get something that you feel like will better suit you, you want to get it so quickly. You just want to like bring it in. But sometimes you have to wait for things to be good things to present themselves or show themselves or reveal themselves to you. So with this rising sun, the keywords on this are hope, courage, and optimism. So I feel like this is just saying you need to be hopeful, remain hopeful, right? Don't fall into this cutthroat Five of Swords kind of mentality, and just know that you have these opportunities coming into your life. Yeah. So um for I don't know if you want it like more of a specific time frame. I don't like to do time frames, but just to give you more of an idea, I feel like between the 10 of Pentacles and the Four of Cups, I think that this is going to be more of a longer process than shorter. So I feel like this is going to be very much probably the good part of a year, if not a little more, honestly. Um, Pentacles are the slowest moving of the suits, and then you have a really high card here as well. So this is saying that if you want to reach that ultimate goal, you got to be patient, you got to wait for it. um the cups are also really slow moving. The only quick energy you have is that Five of Swords, but that's not the energy you want to invite in. So I would say definitely probably over the next few months, you'll start to see things starting to move with this Four of Cups, but it's not going to be probably for a good part of a year, if not a little more. So I'm sure, based off of how job applications and stuff work, that is not what you're looking for, but just be patient with yourself. I believe in you. And thank you so much for the tip. Thank you for joining, Farida. You're so welcome, Black Widow. Good luck. Job hunting is not easy. All right, Kate, you want to know, you are up next. You want to know why your sister is acting this way. And then after Kate, Farida, you will be after Kate. If you guys enjoy my readings, you can use my Ko-Fi link and book some private readings. I might set up something where you guys can book ahead of time live readings. I'm still working on it. Okay, Kate. Let me know you're still in the chat. Gotta get these cards unbent. I will say the downside to being a riffle shuffler is the cards will start to bend. You see that little like curve there. Andrea, yeah, just use exclamation point join. And just for those of you guys that are trickling in, I'm testing out a new chat bot. I'm using Nightbot like as a backup, so just ignore that. Just follow whatever Streamlabs says. I haven't really been doing a good job testing it out, but I just wanted to make sure that it worked. All right, Kate, let's get your reading. Let's see why your sister is acting how she is acting. Let's see. The Queen of Swords popped back up. All right. So we have the Seven of Swords. A lot of swords energy this week. Queen of Swords, and then the Nine of Wands. These two in reverse. So, I mentioned before about the Queen of Swords being a much more manipulative person. They're someone who can be a little bitter. They hang on to things. They're not quite as in control of their emotions as most of the Queen's energy is. They really give into these negative thoughts, which is what leads to that bitterness. And I think that it stems from the Seven of Swords here, where they feel like they have been deceived in the past. So they're holding on to those negative thoughts of feeling like they've been deceived, and therefore that is feeding that bitterness. So you have the Nine of Wands in reverse here. I think that she's I think that this is just a testament. This Nine of Wands is really just a testament of her feeling like physically beat down from being mentally beat down. I don't know that this Seven of Swords is warranted or not. I don't know that, just from this, I feel like this is mostly an internal thing that's going on. I feel like this is mostly her. So I don't necessarily know where it stems from. But what I can say is, like, my advice looking at these cards is that sometimes this can be a perceived slight where she feels like she was deceived in some kind of way, or she can feel like someone was being intentionally mean or something to her, or hiding something from her. And by that I mean this is all something from her perspective, so it wasn't intentional, and because of that that is where this is coming from. Or this could be something external where someone actually did do something to her, and now she is projecting that onto you. So I guess your homework would be to figure out where this Seven of Swords energy is coming from. Is this something that, like, as I described the situation, can you pinpoint something that happened between you that was a misunderstanding? Or do you feel more so like she is projecting something that is happening to her elsewhere onto you? The projection part is hard to deal with because that requires a better understanding of the outside information. But if it's a misunderstanding that happened between you guys, it's a little easier to face because you both were involved, right? It's hard to help someone when you're just on the receiving end and you were not involved in the situation. So, um it's a little ambiguous. I do feel like, it's one of those things that requires like a really probably in-depth reading, longer than I can really do on a live stream. But yeah, so if it's something that is much more deep, that stems from outside of just you guys, that definitely is a, like, way more in-depth situation, but at least you can kinda get the idea. You kinda have, like, a little pinpoint of where to focus on, and I think it feels like, or it stems from her feeling deceived, and she is holding on to that information, she's holding on to that perception, and it is not affecting her mental health well, and is just really beating her down. That's kind of the main story to go off of. And hopefully that gives you an idea of where to go to tackle this. But if this is a huge family issue, this is not something, you know, three cards are really going to solve. Or well, tarot is not going to solve it at all. This is really, something you guys have to put into action. Unfortunately, family drama is never fun. But yeah, if you have like a situation, or if you know of a situation that maybe you can like talk to and find some commonality, maybe that will be somewhere to start at least. Yeah, you're welcome. Good luck. Family drama's not easy. Hi, Ariana. Welcome to the queue. Welcome, Shakira. Shakira, when I call on you, let me know if you want tarot or bones, okay? My bone readings are really fun for general readings. What is your purpose in life? That is a really heavy question. I just want to be transparent about this. I personally don't think people have a purpose in life. I think people's purpose changes over time. I don't think anyone has any one purpose. I think it's very rare that someone has a singular purpose in life. That being said, I'm going to do your reading. I just want you to understand how my perspective into this might be playing. Okay. Just like to be as open and honest with you guys as possible. And this is for anybody that goes and gets tarot readings. People's perspective. We're humans, right? We're not deities. um, we have a knack for reading cards, but we're still human. So find the reader that works for you. I know from my own personal experiences, I can't read for everyone. Sometimes I just don't have that connection. I don't It's very chaotic and I can't make sense of it. And vice versa. Sometimes people just don't enjoy my method of reading, and that's fine. So, it's just a tip for you guys if you ever decide to go and pay for a reading, just kind of check the person out, see if they are your vibe, and then if so, then go from there. All right. Now that that is out of the way, let's see what is going on for where your life is heading, Farida. Let's see. All right, let's see. Come on. Oof. Here we go. Last card. Okay. So, let me see, what is this? King of Pentacles, so you have the Four of Cups, the Star, and then the King of Pentacles in reverse. And I feel like this is definitely all over the place, but I think that one of the things that really stands out is this Four of Cups here. Um, I feel like actually, what stands out is the lack of wands. Sometimes that can happen, in three card readings, but there's no passion. So, there's no passion, and then also there's very little movement as well. So the Four of Cups is really saying you have things that are coming into your life. They can be nice, maybe just in general nice, but they do not spark any passion. So I think this card is saying that especially being the four, you need to sit back and kind of reflect on what it is you truly want. And I think that this is really playing into the star card. You know, what were your hopes and dreams before? Like, what were the things that you wanted to do before you were in the now? Does that make sense? Yeah, the star card really invites us to focus on, like, it really is hope, right? It's the card of hope. So there's also that card of faith. So what were the things that you believed in the past that maybe you've given up on for whatever reason, just because life beat you down, or because you feel like you missed out on an opportunity, something along those lines? What is it that you gave out hope on? And I feel like once you can find that spark of hope, that thing that really used to drive you in the past that maybe you forgot about, that can really help you regain that. Yeah. So if you feel like you've lost that, I feel like, I don't know if you've heard of like shadow work or anything like that. It's kind of like self therapy. Um, I mean, therapy is a type of shadow work as well. So I don't want to really say that, but it is really taking aspects of yourself, like in this case, you said you feel hopeless and stagnant, and really diving very deep into that and finding out why. I think that, the King of Pentacles is the card of like being really stubborn. So I feel like this is probably leading to what it is you want in the future, right? But you don't have it. So things are kind of flipped upside down. So right now you're embodying this stagnancy that we have with this King of Pentacles in reverse, but in upright, and this is maybe something you can look into trying to bring into your life in order to help facilitate this journey of finding purpose. I really don't think my cards are going to tell you what your purpose is in life, but they can tell you how to travel along the path into discovering it for yourself. um Honestly, I feel like anyone that tells you your purpose in life is being dishonest with you, uh, because of what I said earlier. So, upright, this card is about the King of Pentacles is really um, a wise person who is very sure of themselves. They're a natural leader, but they have this stability and groundedness about them, and they also embody what people think of in terms of wealth and security. And there's this element of being a provider, almost like a strong figure that can provide, just something, whether it be energy, money, whatever. Um, I think that is probably something that you want to dive into, right? In order to dive a little deeper, I think dive into what it is you want your life to look like in regards to this King of Pentacle energy. How can you embody, or how can you take action to providing? And it doesn't have to be for other people, it can be for yourself, it could be for animals, it could be for the helpless, providing can be a lot of things. And this is where your actions come in, where you have to take control over this and determine what it is you want to provide for. Maybe that is where that spark comes in, feeling like you're needed, feeling like you are leading people in, or leading something or someone into a better aspect of life, you know. Um but yeah, I I think that this is something that the king too in reverse, there is, because I mentioned there's a lack of stability in reverse. Your goal, on top of wanting to find ways to be a provider, to be a leader, is also to find stability. So, what this, like, as I'm talking, what does stability look like to you? And, you know, it doesn't have to necessarily be your purpose in life, but it can be one of the goals that you have for yourself. So, you're saying, yeah, and healing from past traumas. That makes sense with the King of Reverse. Um, yeah, I think that you kind of already know what you need to do to get started, to feel like you are setting yourself up on the right path for discovering yourself. I feel like this is more so a discovery of oneself and less so like a purpose, but I am again throwing my own biases on the whole concept into this. So I'm not trying to take away from your thoughts on this. No, it definitely makes sense. You want to build those connections. You want to build that security, that stability, and that is something that was missing with this king in reverse. But upright, that's basically what you're trying to get into your life. And this being the last of your three cards, that makes a lot of sense because you don't want to end in this unstable position, right? You have these hopes, you had the or had these hopes, right? You had past opportunities maybe, but it led you to feeling really unstable and you need to find a way to upright that energy. And I feel like you kind of know already. Again, it's one of those things that's hard to do with three cards on a live stream, but I think that it hopefully gives you somewhere to start. Yeah, I feel like maybe you've caged yourself too long. You haven't given yourself the chance to be just free and open. Shakira, you're welcome, Farida. Shakira, let me know if you want bones or tarot. All right, let me read who I have in the queue. I'm gonna close the queue, guys. Everybody who's in it is in it, so don't don't worry. um, one second. I don't think that worked. I think I have to do it from. Oh, it did work. Cool. All right. Um, why don't we do a bone reading? Bones are really great for general readings. I tend to prefer them. All right, Shakira. General reading for Shakira. Whew. All right. Um, so you had a few things fly off. You had this, which is the just energy of like disappointment. So I feel like you are starting to or you have already put some past disappointments just behind you, starting to finally just move on, realize that focusing on them is not worth the energy. And then we also have here, this is the health bone. So if you have been dealing with some like mental or physical health, you've started to realize that maybe dwelling on it is not going to be for the best, and instead putting more action to it. But sometimes when things fly off, it's just that they're not important. It's not that you're not focusing on it. It's just other things are taking more precedent at the moment. So let's see. I'm gonna just move some things around so I can read them. All right. So you have a cluster up here, but we'll kind of just go in order. You have down here all by its lonesome is whatever financial things that are going on in your life. I think that this is just in general your finances. You're focusing on them. They are a you have some external difficulties in regard to them. So it could be um, difficult interviews, difficult appraisals, something like that that has been going on. You're a little distant from that. So it might just be something that you are starting to finally put behind you so that way you can start to change that energy around, which if you're not doing that, I do just recommend. Sorry about my phone, guys. This isn't really too relevant. So we had some negative things that happened that you're finding some justice and some balance in them. I don't know if you work with like ancestors or spirit guides or deities, or just you focus on your spirituality in general. But if you have a group of people that are helping you with that, they are really helping you get past this negativity. You're starting to build a lot of distance here um between just everything, and it's starting to isolate itself, which is really good. Over here, I feel like there have been things going on for a while that might have just closed you off from maybe from your family, building better relationships. One second, sorry. But it's something that you're starting to finally feel closure on. So we have this seven here. This is a sign that you're in the end stage of this situation. It's definitely been something that has weighed on you, kind of worn you down for a while, but you're starting to gain some truths that have really put a new perspective of the situation, but you still will have to find a way to open yourself back up to your family. Um, this is something. The reason I really like bones for general readings because it highlights a lot of different things that you can get deeper readings on. So this is probably something you want to dive a little deeper into, like how you can open yourself up better to your family, how you can open yourself up better to relationships in general, something like that. How to um, pull down those walls in a healthy manner, something along those lines, right? So over here, we have some changes that have been going on in regards to some new opportunities. I think you'll probably start to see them in the next few months, starting to make an appearance, but that will lead to a lot of growth in this. I think this will lead to a lot of growth within yourself, a lot of growth in regard to those new opportunities as well. But one of the things that you really need to be careful of is if these changes are coming too hard and too fast, do not let them bury you. So, what I'm worried about right now is that you are buried underneath a lot of different things happening, which is making it difficult for you to breathe, right? So, maybe some of these changes are a little fearful for you. Um, causing a lot of anxiety, lost a lot of stress, and really keeping you from being flexible in yourself, keeping you from being able to move forward. You're also really just trapped against these walls here. So while these things can be good individually, if they're coming at you too quickly, it's really hard to figure out how to manage that. One of the things I want to point out too is this is like symbolizing hard work and putting in energy, that effort. You're really distant. You're on opposite sides of this change here that's going on. So because you're being buried underneath everything, all of these stressors, you really can't put in any of the work to remove them. So it's almost like this cycle that you're in. And this is something else that I feel like would be a good thing to dive deeper into. Oh, okay. You said yes, it does feel that way. Then I would say over the next few months, this is a 5 here, maybe the next 5 months, be patient with yourself, find ways to remove these things, remove these fears, remove these anxieties, start to individualize them so that way it doesn't seem so much of a burden. So that way you can finally sort of like come up to breathe here. Um, as I kind of gave the example over here, a good thing to do for this situation is maybe I always mention shadow work because I'm biased towards that, but you can do a little shadow work. Feel like what is it you need to focus on in order to figure out what these anxieties are stemming from. But then you can also get readings on how to find balance, how to remove stress, that kind of thing. So you can dive a little deeper and get a little more actionable steps towards that. So I hope that helps. Just kind of looking here to see what if I missed anything. But no, I mean I think that this kind of gives you some actions uh that you can take. Oh, thank you, Southern Roots for the Ko-Fi tip. All right. So yeah, Shakira, thank you for being patient. I hope that gives you some places to start. If you guys like my bone readings, let me know. I want to start offering them more. I'm hoping that I can get to 1,000 people on TikTok so I can like do them on TikTok as well. But um, so I can offer them more regularly. Oh, Lisa. Thank you, Lisa, for letting me know. All right, Lisa, since you tipped, you are up next. And then after Lisa, I have Andrea, and then I am going to be finishing up with the lovely Ariana. So Andrea and Ariana, just let me know you guys are still in the chat. And Shakira, I'm glad you liked the bone reading. Yay. Yeah, so Lisa, let me know what it is you'd like me to do a reading on. So I guess if you guys like the bone readings, if you ever tip and do a bone reading, or if you're one of my members and you do a bone reading, I'll just pull some oracle cards to go along with them to kind of dive a little deeper on situations that are highlighted. Kind of in the last reading, I gave an example of that, or an example of situations being highlighted. So do you want, just to make sure I'm tracking, do you want a reading on like how to unblock it, or do you want a reading on what's blocking you? Just so I make sure I pull the right thing. Thank you, Andrea. Okay, what's blocking? Sounds good. Let's do your oracle card first. Let's see what is blocking you right now. All right, we have the Wolf Moon, restoration, incubation, and growth. Let me pull one more. I don't know why I feel called to pull one more. And then I'll pull the tarot cards. All right. Third eye blind. Ignoring intuition and self-doubt. All right. So I feel like this is going to be a lot of an internal journey, but let's see what the tarot cards say, and we'll see what everything is all together. All right. What is blocking your Lisa's intuition? All right. We have the Ace of Pentacles, the Lover. The Universe is a unique card in this deck. So it's seemingly like the World, but I'm going to just pull the little guide card out so I know what the Universe is for this one. So we have the Ace of Pentacles, we have the Lovers, and then we have the Universe. The Universe card is it is the World in this. Okay, sorry, my bad, guys. So it's the World. This card is about achievement, finding closure, closing cycles, that kind of thing. I think what is your main blockage, just to summarize everything, I think is feeling like you might have made wrong decisions in the past, and now you are kind of in what I call analysis paralysis, where you can't decide on things because the last time you did, it didn't go right, or because you feel like the stakes are too high. I feel like this might be a healthy combo of both, maybe. So the Ace of Pentacles is there's new opportunities here. And this is why I feel like maybe you feel like you have not made the right decisions before because you're being presented with these opportunities, but maybe they didn't culminate in the achievements that you hoped for. And therefore you are placing that, I guess maybe blame is the word I'm looking for. You're placing that blame back on yourself. And because you are taking that in, you're internalizing that, it is more or less leading to self-doubt. That's this card right here. This self-doubt is really probably the major key to this blockage, right? So the good thing is this is a really positive reading in terms of like just in general, there's really nothing overtly bad weighing on you. It's just maybe you're putting too much pressure on yourself. So one of the things, the World card is about, like being in a cycle. Even though it's upright, it's kind of like more of a positive thing. Maybe you just don't see the positives. If you feel like you have been missing out on intuitive moments, or you haven't listened to an intuitive moment, or you feel like you are not tapping into your third eye the way that you feel like you have previously, then you aren't doing it right. But the thing is, in your craft, in your spirituality, things kind of just change a little, and you have to change with them. So instead of, if this is something, if you've done something a certain way for so long and it's always worked, it's easy to just fall into that cycle. But the world is really suggesting like the cycle has ended and it's time for something new, but in a good way. It's like this evolution, it's the next step. And I think that my cat is like, you've been on here long enough. Um, I think that this Ace of Pentacles is saying, like, all right, you have finished the cycle, time to start something new and go through the cycle again. Um, and I think that's where this Wolf Moon card comes into play. One of the key words in this on this card is growth. And I think that's what's really going on. Maybe I just think maybe you aren't recognizing this, that you're going through a growth period. Things are morphing and changing, and because of that, if you've been relying on the same old methods to make these decisions, they're not going to quite work for you. So you were saying it seems right, you want to retower for others. Yeah, I think that this, so in sports, we call this the yips, where you have everything it takes, you have all of the skill, you have all of the IQ, but you're so in your head that you cannot follow through with any of it. So I think this is all just like, this is your spiritual yips. And how people get over it is a little different. Everybody's a little different. Um, just based off of the cards, I think that maybe taking a bit of a break so you can reassess yourself, your journey, your process, um, without the pressures of like of the external world around you. Yeah, and I think that you are just in the cycle of the world here. The universe has gotten a hold of you, and you are just going through something new, this Ace of Pentacles. And, looking at this, like I said, pretty nice reading in general, considering this was a reading about blockages. This is actually really positive reading. Everything was upright. Everything was more so about reflecting on oneself, and just this whole reading basically can be summarized as, you got this. You already know what to do. So I think just be patient with yourself. If you've been like really pressing yourself to try different things, or pressing yourself to get it right, probably nip that in the bud. Take a break. Right, Luna? Yeah. Take a break, and reassess, and just figure out, I'm sure if you just take that moment to breathe, take a nice deep breath and breathe through it, you're going to really start to reflect back on these things over the past however long things have your intuition and you feel like you've been blocked. And you're going to start to realize, oh, okay, I need to do things this way now. I think it'll start to make sense. You just got to take that pressure off of yourself and just realize, especially going into the future, that these phases are going to happen, and it's good because it's a sign of growth. It's a sign that you now have this new skill that maybe you didn't recognize because it came over time, but now it's built up to the point that you need to master it, or tap into it, or recognize it, whatever that means to you. Yes, patience and keep on trucking, because you got this. And it's all internal. It's definitely all coming from you, which is honestly a good thing, because you have the most control over you. It's not like it's coming from any person or anything like that. Right, little girl? My cat has joined us. Yeah. So yeah, I hope things go well for you. You'll have to let me know what you discover. I'm curious. Adria. Oh my God, Andrea. I am losing it. You're so welcome. If you guys enjoyed your readings, don't forget to like this video. You're not obligated to subscribe, but I would love if you did. Yeah. Luna says like and subscribe. keep the law of attraction in mind. Just, you know, keep the standard stuff in mind. Just slow it down and be patient. Yes. Luna says slow down and be patient. All right. Andrea, go ahead, put your question in the chat. Yeah. Good girl. And Ariana, if you're here, go ahead, put your question in the chat as well, love. Yeah, good girl. I'm really enjoying this deck too. It's a little hard to shuffle, still a little sticky because of that, like, it has a rose petal finish. I wish they had like feel-o-vision, so you guys could feel this. But it has like a slight rose petal. It's not fully rose petal, so it's sometimes sticky and sometimes not. Like, for instance, it doesn't fan. It just moves as like a giant block, sort of. All right, Luna. All right. We're almost done, okay? All right, Andrea, sorry. I almost called you my friend's name. Let me know what your question is, and I will finish up with you. Sit down. Yeah. Meow. Meow. You're such a cutie patootie. All right, let's call Andrea to put your question in the chat. Ariana, are you still here? You can put your question in the chat as well. Well, first of all, that is just mean. As a lot of people say, age is just a number, and I'm sure anyone would be lucky to have you. So let's see. I don't generally do like pregnancy or any kind of like readings like that. So what I can do is just like a future outlook on your life and see what pops up, if that's okay. Let's see. Okay, Andrea, you totally have really great things coming to you in your life. You have the Ace of Swords, the Three of Pentacles, and the what was this? Seven of Pentacles. So if you missed my other readings, you know, the Ace of Swords is really all about like success, victory, but also new beginnings. So, you know, if that's what you are looking for, then I feel like this is totally within your reach. This is definitely something that you can achieve. This is not, you know, I feel like your mom is just trying to be really mean about the situation, right? In the center of everything, we have the Three of Pentacles. This is a card of like teamwork. So this could be the sign of like a growing family unit. This could be a sign of just uh yeah, I would say in this regard, probably a growing like family unit. There's that like learning and collaboration that's going on. And with the Seven of Pentacles, Seven of Pentacles is the card of like hard work, right? So I love the progression of this, right? So we have here, we have three birds, and in the center looks like a nest with an egg, and then which can represent the family unit. And then we have here a bird, and you see all of these other birds just kind of flying off in the distance. And it's like it's like she's watching or just hanging out and enjoying their presence and understanding like there's this element of putting in some hard work so you can see the family grow and fly and thrive. So I totally see this. You know, I don't like to give like, you know, pregnancy readings like I said, but I really do see this as something that you're going to thrive in, something that you're going to be really successful in. So I don't think that this is something that you need to worry about. This is a very positive reading. And if you look at all of this, like you see these open skies, you see this just open space where it's just like you can spread your wings and be really free and just sort of take the world for yourself. Yeah, I think that you have a really bright future ahead of you. As long as you are willing to take it. That is the thing. You know, I can put as many cards down as I want, but if you're not willing to step into that future, then it can't happen. So I would just say, you know, take whatever pressures and words that your mom puts on you and kind of let them go in one ear and out another, and just know that you're going to step into your life the way that you want it when you want it, and it's going to come to you when you're ready, right? I will say with the Ace of Swords, this might be something that is starting to come around in, you know, not too long. Swords is very quick, active energy. So this could be a few weeks. You might start to notice some changes in the universe, start to feel like the energy is changing around you. And that could just be a sign like this is your change, your new beginnings coming down the pipeline. You just got to be careful of not letting others' negativity frame your life. I'll put it that way. Especially because you are a grown ass, bomb ass woman and you are in control of your life and how it's going to turn out, not anyone else. So I hope that helps. So, guys, I will be here. Yeah, it sounds like she's a hater. I don't know a nice way to put it. She just sounds like a grade A hater. Um, yeah. I would say, you saw the cards, you saw the goals that you want, and push towards them. And anybody who is a hater, haters gonna hate, ain'ters gonna ain't. Oh, there you are, Ariana. Go ahead, put your question in the chat. So, just as a caveat, I won't be here next week. I have a birthday thing to get to. So you want to know if you should work at Taco Bell or Subway? Let's see. I'll do 2 cards for Taco Bell, 2 cards for Subway in Walmart. Let's see. Where should Ariana work? Should Ariana work at Taco Bell? All right, should you work at Walmart? Or, sorry, Subway and Walmart. Subway and Walmart. So I'm going to describe the situation and then you can decide what's best for you. I think that let me mention the cards. We have the Wheel of Fortune, the Three of Swords for working at Taco Bell. We have the Ten of Cups and the Queen of Pentacles for working at Subway and Walmart. So the way that I look at this is the Wheel of Fortune is a cycle, right? So while I think working at Taco Bell might be something that is going to work out in your favor for a little bit, it's definitely not going to be permanent. And I think it's going to really give you a little more grief than the positives in this aspect. For Subway, we have the Ten of Cups. So I feel like emotionally you might be fine working here. I feel like there is this contentment that is really going on in terms of working at Subway at Walmart, but it's not going to really help you financially. The Queen of Pentacles, I really feel like it's not gonna help or aid you in any sense of stability, right? And there might even be issues with some coworkers here. But so it depends what you want to put up with. So if you already know, just to give examples based off of what you're saying, if you already know it's not going to be permanent, maybe you want to go with like the more like fortune side, and then when things start to go to shit, you can just dip out. Or you can go with the one that is just easier to deal with. You can take your time, do what you need to, get your eggs all in a basket, even though financially it's not what it's about. So it depends on what situation is most beneficial for your situation. Is the gas station where Taco Bell is? Oh, that's a third option. Let's see. Let's see what the gas station will be like. I do think the gas station, just objectively, subjectively, I think the gas station would probably be a better option. We have the Ace of Swords and the Nine of Cups. Um, so these other options kind of had like good and bad, but this one seems fairly neutral. I feel like, Ace of Swords is really, it's a card of success. So I feel like this might be the most successful option, is what that's saying. Nine of Cups, you have that. You have the element of like, I guess, yeah. You know what? I'll use the word satisfaction. So I feel like you will successfully be satisfied in this option. This one, it would be more like you have some really good things up front, but it's really going to end up being a little more grief than it might be worth. This one might be a little emotionally fulfilling in some kind of way, but you're not going to get any stability out of it whatsoever, and might have some issues with some coworkers in this one. So I'm glad you threw that out there, because it does seem like that third option might be a little better. Hope that helps. You're welcome. All right, I am going to get off of here. My cats are like, you are done for the night. So I won't be here next week. If you are on my Instagram, make sure you join. I'll try to do like a cool little live, maybe. I don't know. Excuse me. I'll try something. Excuse me. Sorry. All right, let me get off here. My allergies are going crazy. I will talk to you guys later. And thank you so much for joining. Happy Friday.